Hi, Ishmael. Thank you for agreeing to join me for an interview. And I'm going to introduce to you Diaspora Unplugged. Diaspora Unplugged is a podcast, podcast, which is going to focus on showcasing diaspora achievements, what they are doing in their countries of residence. They can talk about their country of origin, the difference in culture, what they are doing currently. And that's why I'm really happy that you agreed to be part of my podcast. So, could you please introduce yourself?
Um, Thank you. I'm hoping you can hear me. My name is Ishmael, originally from Kenya, more specifically Kisii, Kenya. Moved to the United States, the state of Texas, several years ago, about 20 years ago. I have lived in Texas, but I've also lived in Georgia. I like to emphasize that I prefer Georgia over Texas. Um, so I call myself a Georgian. I'm from Georgia, basically, in a nutshell. But I'm currently back in Texas, and I work for a company called LJA Engineering. It's a civil engineering firm that focuses on multi-plant communities, which is basically, residential communities that basically, essentially, they build suburbs. But it's much more than that. But I do not want to get into all the details. Like I said, I'm currently in Texas, Dallas, Texas, to be specific.
Yeah, that sounds like a really big company. Is it a global company with offshores in other countries, or is that a company that is only based in America? And
It's only based in America. It's a more of a national company. It's actually growing. It was a smaller company that was limited to the Texas market, but they've expanded. They have offices in other states as well. They're basically acquiring smaller companies and expanding in that way. So their main focus, like I said, is land development, master plan communities, but they have different divisions, transportation division, they have railroad division, they of course have surveying. So the parent company is called LJA, but all of these other divisions are subsidiaries in essence.
so, can we zoom in Texas? Texas is quite big. So, where are you basically based in Texas? Are you in Houston? Are you in which town are you based in?
I'm in Dallas.
Yeah.
It's known as the Dallas Fort Worth area, but more specifically Dallas. Well, actually, even more specific, it's Arlington. That's where I live.
Yes.
But you might as well say Dallas. But a lot of the cities here in the U.S. They have, I don't want to call them neighborhoods, but you can call them that. But they're cities within a city. So there's the major city, and then you have, like, other attachments to the city. But because they're so small, that you can generalize that we're all in Dallas. Just to kind of give you an idea, Arlington is next to Mansfield.
Yeah,
So if
okay.
someone tells you
Yeah.
they're from Mansfield, Texas, they're essentially from Dallas because you can't really tell the distinction. And then Mansfield is next to Waxahachie. It's next to Midlothian. So those are all little cities, but you know,
Yeah. So, you came to America 20 years ago. Did you get a culture shock? How was the culture difference between Kenya and the United States of America? I believe you were quite young.
yeah, I was very young. The there was a shock, yes. Of course, I mean, it's a completely different environment, as far as the level of development, for example. I mean, it's quite different. The type of lifestyle that is lived here is quite different. So, I mean, the biggest shock for me was how quickly people spoke English, especially. But now, I mean, now it's slowed down, But it was just, I mean, we spoke English, but that it seemed like we had a lazy tongue or something. But yeah, the speech was very, very fast. That was the main thing that I noticed. And then, of course, just those little instances of people just having a negative perception of you simply because you're African. But that, as you get older, you realize that's more of an advantage than it is a disadvantage. So now my my conclusion is that it is, someone that has a negative perception of someone that is African. It's because of their deficiency. It's sort of a jealousy aspect attached to it, because of the greatness of an African, for example. So
Yeah, and they tend to say that the more you travel, the more one gets to understand different cultures and appreciate them. So it depends also on the communities, like in America, if they where you got into, if they really travel a lot. What I tend to hear from a lot of people from the United States is that America is so big that they do interstate traveling and not really in so much of the global traveling, like globetrotter going to Asia, what it's not that common. Like I live in Frankfurt, Germany, so every holidays people are there. Airport flying somewhere on holiday. So there's a lot of openness to accepting new cultures, which is
mm.
not always the point, but it's it's the more traveled, the more open-minded people become. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I
So
think so. I think so.
yes,
Yeah, I agree.
yes, yes. And you were telling me you did you study in America?
I
Where did
did.
you go to university?
I mean, I studied. I did my high school. I completed high school in a small state called Nebraska. It was a small academy that I went to when I was in Nebraska. Graduated, went to a college called Texas Southern University. It's based out of Houston. I completed my business degree as well as civil engineering. So I did, not necessarily double major, but I completed one and basically continued and completed the next one. Um, that was your question. Where did I go to school, right?
Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah,
And
I
it
want to
seems
make sure I'm
those are
answering.
really big achievements. Those are really big achievements. Like you did okay, like a double major or two different degrees, which
Right.
gives
Yeah.
you a choice. Like in work, you can either be in business management, or you can be in civil engineering, like what you're doing right now, construction and all that. I think
Right.
it's really nice. Yeah, it shows how open-minded you are, or you you are in terms of education and profession. So,
Yeah. I mean,
how is your family? Sorry, sorry,
no,
sorry.
no. I was saying I agree. I agree. It's I do have a diverse outlook.
Yes. And how is your social situation? What do you volunteer or hobbies? What are your hobbies? What do you do after work? Could you give us a short insight to your social life?
I'll try to keep it short. I like to say that I'm long-winded, so it's very difficult. But a short summary: what I do enjoy. I I used to play rugby quite a bit, but I'm trying to find a rugby social league to join here in Arlington, Dallas. next to Mansfield.
Yes.
uh, I I enjoy golf. I play golf. I'm not good at it, but I go out there and I can strike the ball a little bit. I enjoy watching the real football. They call it soccer here in America. I actually just joined our company's soccer team, and I found out that I enjoy playing it as well. But I love watching soccer. My favorite team, Chelsea, True Blue, of course. Um, and as far as my social life, in terms of friends or just the things that I engage in, just those that I mentioned. As far as friends, I do have a small uh, group of people that I engage with. Some of them are spread out here in Texas. Actually, my best friend actually lives in Houston. I also have a friend of mine who I've known from high school. He lives in Lubbock, which is about 5 hours from here, but it's still in Texas. So, try to visit them from time to time.
And do you, do
But
you do you go back to your country of origin? Do you ever go back to your country of origin? How often do you have any kind of family back home, or are you supporting them? This how is your relationship with your country of origin?
it's great. I don't go as often as I would like. The last time that I was there was about 4 years ago, so it's not as frequently as I would like. My relationship with the country is I love it. It's a country that I mean I have a lot of biases, and amongst them is my love for the country. So I love it. Most of my family is actually in Kenya, majority of them. My cousins, my grandparents, my uncles. So it's just the nucleus part of my family that's here in the United States.
So the possibility of you relocating back to your country of origin is very big. It could be like 60, 70%.
Probably more than that.
Okay.
Yeah, probably
Okay.
more. I mean, I would love to. I would love to relocate. Yes, because I don't think that coming to the United States was more of a permanent. I was not a. I don't like to think of it as migrating. I was more, transitioning. So yeah,
I think the America offers the opportunity of people like achieving their goals and then moving on. If you're a migrant,
that's
I think
yeah.
yes, yes,
Mm.
it offers you the possibility. And if your family is in your country of origin, it makes sense for you to relocate and maybe slow down and enjoy with the family. And
Yes.
do you have a family in the States at all, or are you like single?
Um, I mean, besides my siblings, I do have a daughter. I do have a 4-year-old daughter. Her birthday is this month. Yeah, she lives in Georgia with her mother. I don't. It's not one of the most ideal situations where I can say that I have an ideal parental relationship that I would love, but those are the facts. I have a daughter. Yes.
Oh, okay. That's very nice. And she's going to kindergarten. We call it kindergarten in Germany, like play school or something. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
she's in. Yeah, she was in daycare. She's in preschool. Yes.
okay, okay, okay. Oh, that's good. And my question is, what advice would you give any people intending to come to the United States from all over the world? What should they do and they do not? What could you give us to take with us? Like advice. If you're planning to come to the States, this is what you should remember. This is how you should maybe behave in order to adjust quickly. And yeah.
There was a lot there. I would like to say the one thing I would say for them to um, keep in mind is their purpose for either migrating or seeking out opportunities, to not lose sight of those things that they're out seeking. The other thing I would say is to make sure that they remain close to their roots, and by their roots I mean their family, their place of origin, their community. So if you move to, say, for example, a city in, I'll say Nebraska, for example, it's always best to find people that, are coming from your background, because what that does is allows you to have a good foundation, a good network. It makes the adjustments a lot smoother, I would say. And it keeps you grounded and connected to the people that will probably value you more than, and not to say that the Americans won't value you, but they will have more value for what it is that you're there, and more understanding. So just remaining focused, remaining rooted in your community, but more importantly, your family. Just keeping your family close is very important.
Just what an idea which came into my mind right now is like, we're talking more of our countries where we're residing. How open would you be for a global network of diasporas like this? Like just meeting random people from all over the world who are diasporas, and maybe even connecting online, exchanging information, ideas. What do you think of a platform like that?
I think it's a great idea. Um, it would it's a great opportunity, yeah, for um, people who have had similar experiences. For example, having to adjust to a new environment, to find a place where they can, share those experiences and learn from one another, but also, just be entertained as well. Because I'm pretty sure a lot of people have funny stories as to what actually, the funniest moments, the funniest things that they've, some of the things that they used to do that they look back at, and they, they can laugh about them. So, yeah, I mean, I think it would be a good platform, a good tool.
Talking about that, our viewers, please, if you have any questions for Ishmael, we want you to participate. You can offer us critique. You can offer us moments which you would like more insight to. You can ask questions. So if you like this interview or whatever we are discussing, just a thumbs up, subscribe, put your content, reach out to us, and you can reach out to me in LinkedIn, via LinkedIn, Gladys Book, or you can send us an email to Gsilent, Diasplorer Unplugged, which I'm going to put the email, and you can reach out to us in any way, or even leave a comment, and we will be glad to get back to you. And Ishmael, I thank you so much for the interview. It was really
Thank
nice
you, thank
talking to
you.
you. And I'm going to invite you for the nice stories, funny stories. Think about what you really have done in the United States of America. We are going to have a repeat, but this time on your experiences in America, growing up and maybe being naughty, doing things that when you look back, you say, wow, these are not mine, but would like to hear.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be great. Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you, thank you. I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.